Good evening. My name is Diane, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the Discover Orange Bowl conference call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press the pound key. Thank you. I would now like to turn the call over to Mr. Larry Wall. Sir, you may begin your conference.
Thank you, Diane. Welcome to this evening's call. On the call tonight, we have Orange Bowl CEO Eric Palms, that's spelled P-O-M-S, M as in Mary, along with our 2 head coaches, Urban Meyer of Ohio State and Dabo Swinney of Clemson. Before we get started, media are reminded to apply for credentials and reserve hotel rooms at our media headquarters, the Embassy Suites, Fort Lauderdale. Please log on to orangebowl.org/pressbox. We'll start tonight with an opening statement from Eric before remarks from our 2 coaches, and then we'll open it up for questions. Now we'll turn it over to Orange Bowl Committee CEO Eric Palms.
Thanks, Larry. First, thanks to everybody for joining the call tonight, and a special congratulations to Coach Meyer and Coach Swinney for earning berths in the 80th Discover Orange Bowl. We are very excited to host these storied programs, Clemson from our host conference, the Atlantic Coast Conference, and Ohio State from the Big Ten, which will be one of our new partners, along with the SEC and Notre Dame, joining the ACC as we move forward in the college football playoff next year. Ohio State comes in the game ranked 7th in the BCS with a 12-1 overall record and 8-0 in the Big Ten, while Clemson is ranked 12th and 10-2 overall, and 7-1 in the ACC. This year's game will be played on Friday, January 3rd, at Sun Life Stadium and televised by ESPN at 8:30 p.m. We anticipate a game featuring offensive fireworks. Both teams average more than 40 points a game. Clemson ranks 12th nationally in both points scored and passing yardage. Ohio State ranks 4th nationally in both points scored and rushing yardage. Ohio State is making its 2nd appearance in the Orange Bowl, having beaten Colorado in 1977. This is the 5th appearance for Clemson, including the 1982 National Championship when they played Nebraska down here back then. In addition, Coach Swinney led the Clemson Tigers to the 78th Discover Orange Bowl. Congratulations to both schools. We look forward to hosting you both.
Thanks, Eric. We'll now turn it over to the coaches for brief remarks before we open it up for questions. First, Coach Urban Meyer of Ohio State, which by virtue of its higher ranking will be the home team in the 2014 Discover Orange Bowl. Coach Meyer?
Well, thanks, Larry. On behalf of our players, staff, and the Ohio State University, we're honored to accept the invitation to play in the Discover Orange Bowl. I'd like to thank my friend Eric Palms and the selection committee for picking our team. I'd also like to congratulate my friend Dabo Swinney and Clemson University on a great season and look forward to representing Ohio State down in South Florida.
Thank you, Coach. And now Coach Dabo Swinney of Clemson.
Well, thank you, Larry. And same thing, I really appreciate the great job y'all do and appreciate Eric. It's an honor to be chosen to participate in the Discover Orange Bowl. And definitely want to congratulate Ohio State. Just another great year. They're a couple plays away from playing for the national championship, and got all the respect in the world for Coach Meyer. Look forward to spending some time with him down in Miami. But the VCS represents the best of the best, and I really believe that both of these teams deserve to be there. And I'm excited for our team and our staff. It's great to be able to have a chance. We hadn't been one since '81, and now to go for our 2nd in 3 years is a great credit to our team for how they've competed and the consistency that we've developed within our program. So, again, proud of those guys for earning the right to be there, and we're thrilled to represent the ACC in the Discover Orange Bowl, and we look forward to a great game versus one of the best teams in the country in Ohio State. And a lot of great players heading down to South Beach to compete in a good one, I'm sure.
Thank you, Coach. And Diane, if you would open it up for questions at this time, please.
Certainly. If you would like to ask a question at this time, press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Once again, that's star 1 to ask a question. Your first question comes from Hale McGranahan with CUTigers.com.
Hey, this question is for Coach Meyer. Coach, I just wanted to see if you could share a couple of your memories from when you got to get a kind of up-close and personal look at Clemson a couple of years ago when you were doing the work for ESPN.
Oh, sure. I made that. I said it right on air. That was the first time that I really got to witness a game at Death Valley, and I really didn't know Dabo that well before that, but I was really impressed. That was the first time, too, I got to see that offense. Excuse me, I lost my voice yesterday a little bit. But very impressed with the atmosphere, the crowd support, and what a great talent. I got to spend the day there, and a lot of respect for Clemson.
Your next question comes from Bill Rabinowitz with the Columbus Dispatch.
Hi, Urban. I'm assuming you met with your team today. How is their mood, and is there any concern about them being able to be motivated enough for this game?
Well, I did not meet with the team. We got in at 4 in the morning and gave them a day off, and we're going to see them tomorrow. I don't believe so. We had a good conversation after the game last night. They're heartbroken, but they're competitors, and they're also, I think the fact we're playing in a BCS bowl game against Clemson, that's going to wake you up real fast. And I don't feel that at all. I love these guys. It's one of the greatest group of guys I've been around, and there's no doubt in my mind that we'll be excited to go play in this bowl game.
Thanks, Urban.
Your next question comes from Todd Porter with Gatehouse, Ohio Media.
Hey, Urban, I'm just wondering, I mean, I know the kind of tireless worker that you are and a day off. I'm not certain how much of an off day it is for you. How soon do you begin looking at how to fix some things on the defensive side of the ball, and have you already started that?
Well, we've already started that, and, the way this whole recruiting calendar has been reorganized. We have 1 week of recruiting left and really one official weekend. So our staff actually left, a good majority of them, from Indianapolis. Once again, that game was over real late. They got hotel rooms and they flew out in the morning. So we have not been together since the close of the game. But I've already begun looking at it, and there's certainly things we got to get fixed and get fixed in a hurry when you see what's coming down the road here.
Your next question comes from Tim May with the Columbus Dispatch.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Urban, talking about that, I mean, obviously there's no secret about what Clemson does best, which is throw the football, and what your team has had trouble with defensively doing. But just talk about that Clemson offense. What just stands out the most about it?
Well, I think they got, I don't think I've seen them up close and personal and recruited some of those guys, and the athleticism of receivers is ridiculous. And the quarterback, the element of the quarterback run and the throw, we that's something that we've lived in for years, and it's just difficult to defend. But it's no question, it's the scheme's terrific, and what their offense coordinator and their program does, their offense is great. But what really makes everything go is the athleticism of receiver.
Yeah, and Dabo, I mean, I know you've heard of Braxton Miller. You may have seen him a little bit, but just what kind of the little bit you know about Ohio State right now, what kind of jumps out at you about him, especially from the offensive side?
Well, first of all, he's a great winner. I mean, the guy's lost one game in 2 years, so that's the number one thing that jumps out at me is he wins. He's a very capable thrower, but he's like having a running back that can throw the football. I mean, he's fast, he's powerful. I've had opportunities to see those guys play on several occasions, and including last night. But just an outstanding football player that can beat you in a lot of different ways, and that's why they've rushed the football so well this year. That quarterback going along with that big back they got has been a very potent combination. But he's just a great winner. To have it'll be 24-1. That's pretty doggone impressive.
Thanks, man.
Your next question comes from Aaron Brenner with the Post-Courier.
Hey, Urban. I mean, in your experience, is it a different feel in bowl practices after losing that last game? You know, because throughout the season you have a week before your next one. Is that a different feel after a defeat in the last game?
Oh, I think college football even more, so much more than pro football, because we're dealing with 18 to 21, 22-year-olds. Momentum's extremely valuable thing, and when you lose a game, I'm trying to think back, it's difficult. But I have great confidence. This team, a lot of these players have been through a lot of stuff. Last year they went 12-0 and weren't unable to go play in a bowl game. Now, their first chance they can to go play in a bowl game, they're in a BCS game against a great team. So I'm not worried. I am worried about it because I worry about everything. But this group of kids wants to go win a bowl game, win their 13th game, and that's what we're going to work awful hard to get done.
And Dabo, sort of the same question for you. I mean, you guys had this experience last year with coming off a tough South Carolina loss. How will your team approach the 4 or 5 week wait before another game?
I mean, we're just back to work. I mean, our guys are excited about postseason. I mean, we had a 10-2 regular season, a couple of tough losses, but the same thing. I mean, we're trying to get an 11th win. I mean, we've never had back-to-back 11-win seasons. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. This is just our second BCS bowl, and we want to play well, want to represent the ACC well, and it's going to take a lot of great preparation. But these guys had a little bit of time off last week since they weren't in the championship game. We're all on the road as well, and but we'll get started back practicing this weekend, and I don't have any doubt by the time that these guys get back on the field, they'll be excited. You're playing, like I said, very possibly the best team in the country, a couple of plays away from having a chance to go prove that. So this is a huge challenge for us, and I don't have any doubt that they'll be very focused.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to you.
Your next question comes from Austin Ward with ESPN.com.
Urban, we saw a quote from Jack Newhart a little earlier about how he wanted to show some resilience. That'd be a great way for him to go out, almost make it seem like he wants to turn the page from last night as fast as possible. Is that the same approach for you, or is it okay to, be down in the dumps for a day or two when you have an opportunity like that taken away?
Oh, everybody was down in the dumps, and the difference between Jack Newhart and maybe others, probably including the head coach of Ohio State, is Jack Newhart's he's a grown man, and he is very resilient, and I have great admiration for him. He's our captain, he's our leader, he's a tough guy, and we all follow him, including our staff. He's that kind of player, and so we're going to help. He's going to be very important in this next 2 weeks to get us organized, focused, and get back to work real fast.
How long might it take you to get over something like last night?
Oh, when we got the phone call today when we found out we're going to the Orange Bowl, and very excited. We've been to the Orange Bowl, and my wife and I, and it's awesome. And it's a great bowl, great part of the country with great people that run the bowl game, and I know Dabo has experienced it as well. I mean, it's arguably as good as there is in America. So we're good. We're ready to go.
Thanks.
Your next question comes from Danny Morales with the Skyboat.
My question is for Coach Meyer. Your team went into that Big Ten championship game undefeated. A lot of talks about the national championship. A lot of those guys hadn't lost a game in their college career, at least in 2 years. What did you have to tell them to make sure that they keep their head up going into this BCS game?
Well, I actually opened the forum a little bit, or opened the floor for anybody. And it was interesting to have a couple of players, a couple of coaches say a few words, and it was just about finishing this thing the right way. And many teams get a chance to win 13 games in a season, and obviously finish ranked very highly. So, especially where a lot of these players, what they've gone through the last 2 years, I saw a little look in their eye. They're very disappointed, but they understand there's an incredible opportunity to be given to them. With opportunity comes responsibility, and they understand that.
Thanks, Coach.
Your next question comes from Chad McGranahan with the State Newspaper.
Hey, Dabo. I was wondering if you see this as a chance for a new beginning, a fresh start after all the ambitious approach you had to the season and that really disappointing finish in Columbia.
Well, I mean, the postseason is a one-game season. I mean, you play your tail off all throughout the year. You got 12 games guaranteed, and you get what you earn. And listen, there's 7 teams in the country, and only one ACC team that's had 3 straight 10-win seasons. So, we wish we had won that last one, that's for sure. But our guys have worked their tail off and have developed into one of the most consistent programs out there, and that's why we're in this bowl game. And I'm proud of the season that we had, and we're trying to have back-to-back 11-win seasons. That's what we're focused on. So again, what's happened in the previous 12 games is behind us. It's a one-game season now, and we're trying to accomplish that goal, and that's win the bowl game.
As far as you know, is everybody healthy? All your key players?
Yes, we had a couple of guys, have some scopes and things like that, kind of postseason stuff last Monday, but everybody should be good to go when we start back practice on Friday.
Did you share who those players were?
No, right now I don't want to get into all that, but they were just some maintenance type stuff that no big deal. Just some guys that have played all year, just needed a little bit of maintenance.
Thanks.
The first of your last 2 callers is David Hood with TigerNet.com.
Hey, Coach Swinney, you haven't taken a team down there 2 years ago. Is there anything that you've learned or anything that you would do different than the previous trip?
That was a great trip. First of all, the Discover Orange Bowl folks, they do a great job, and it was a fantastic experience for our team. We had great preparation, great practice, and we turned the ball over. And that's, if I could do something different, that's what it'd be. If we could hold on that ball a little bit better. But again, we're a little bit different team. When we went down there a couple years ago, we had 42 freshmen on that roster, and first BCS experience and all that kind of stuff. And so we got a lot of guys that have been there. And, the biggest thing is we'll have a great practice plan, great preparation. Our guys have prepared well all year. But, we're going to have to play a great ball game, to have a chance to compete with a team like Ohio State, that's for sure. But our guys, again, they'll be excited about it, and I look forward to the challenge.
Your final question for tonight comes from Todd Porter with Gatehouse, Ohio Media.
Urban, I'm just wondering, as you guys, get to start work on your bowl preparations, how important is it these extra practice days? Obviously, this is something that you guys didn't have a year ago to be able to extend the practice season through December and into January.
That's something we were in almost in a panic situation a year ago because you take 15 practices out of a young player and you'll never get them back, and so that was kind of part of the whole mentality of the chase, where the players had to make up those 15 practices on their own, and they did, and they even did more than that, and that's why I really have such admiration for this team. They went without those 15 practices and made it through a 12-0 regular season. So that's a critical. Any coach will tell you that's a critical. Obviously it's critical to the development of not just I keep hearing all the young players, but every player. 15 practices. That's a game changer. So we're going to take full advantage of that.
There are no further questions at this time, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Diane, and I want to thank everyone for being on the call, especially Coach Meyer and Coach Swinney. Appreciate your time. 2 reminders. First of all, there will be a press conference with both head coaches in attendance at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, this Wednesday at 4 p.m. Also, for credentials and hotel reservations for the 80th Discover Orange Bowl, log on to orangebowl.org/pressbox. And we want to thank you all for your participation this evening.
Thanks, guys. Urban, I'll see you Wednesday.
All right, Dabo, be safe.
All right,
Okay.
guys. Take care.
This concludes today's presentation. You may now disconnect.